as we begin our day, I have made a couple of decisions for the self-help, spiritual, and or mindful content that we get to do here. This is going to be an abbreviated version of what we already have an extended of, and that's because that way I can begin to formulate content for our membership. Okay, so that I'm going to give you an idea of how the content here will play out. And also, it is involving some channeled guidance. As always, I'm a 5D mystic, and I love to organize myself in different ways than you will have seen others. I have all my cards here, and I have my stream of consciousness, channeled guidance messages. It's always going to be food for thought because the 5D collective, we are independent thinkers, feelers, and that's where we're going to start. Okay, so this is going to be the succinct, I think is the right word, version. And then the extended will be available at this time for free. Eventually, it will be what gets into the membership content. That way you can, again, those of you who are regular listeners and viewers can understand it. And I'll probably apply this as well to the audio version podcast. I think I'll find out. I'll let you know about it. Okay, so here's what came through. We're still looking at our lovely cards from the past couple days. That's how it works when we're going through some of the energetic ascension stuff, energies, 5D. You don't have to be a believer, by the way, but I perceive energy and around me. And so, again, I integrate mindfulness and spirituality together. And so the 5D collective, not only do they embody the harmony of their feminine masculine, they know what true love is. They know how it is to be one's self, and they have consistently done so. And some have gotten here through therapy and owning that, earned secure attachment. Others didn't need it. Okay, and so spiritual self-help, mindfulness supports those who are able to be mindful and in mindset. So you can use the feminine, your heart body, because otherwise you don't own yourself yet. And you need the lovely good therapist who can help you to own yourself, and then to be self-empowered, and then to keep on doing the inner growth mindset stuff that we do here. Okay? And in general, the reason it works is because you put your best foot forward and you don't say, my emotions are laundry. You know that you get to mindfully be aware and accountable and regulate. And self-regulation is actively something you want as you keep moving yourself towards more integration of the brain, more of a consistent restorative embodiment self, and that's because you know the difference between restorative and modulated, and you're not going to be in modulated because that's a survival, fight, flight, sympathetic mode, and that's not really going to be supportive to your brain, which the organ, it's an embodied brain, but it's neutral. The way you use it matters. Your thoughts, your feelings. Again, feelings are a sensation and images come up. It's the thoughts, it's the words that you use. So the inner growth mindset is why you expand. If you have an inner critic, outer critic, that's a shame cycle, and those are actively ways people suppress and don't do healing. Okay, so 5D collective, we embody true authority since we nurture self-intelligence. That's thanks to integration, and everything that comes up, we witness it, we welcome it, and then we share it in safe haven, secure-based ways as functional adults. That's why we delight in being ourselves, and we know universal love. And so owning your sense of self and being self-aware, accountable, and regulating brings forth the alliance of your feminine and masculine. This means heart, body, mind, inner harmony, well-being, inner well-being, and the ability to navigate the outer external events equanimously, because equanimity is an open heart. You are self-regulating as things take place. Okay, so that inner growth, functional adult communication, it takes place when thoughts and emotions arise in the day-to-day and with the mysteries of unknowns of life and the unexpected and anything that can take place with people. People are people. So we have some who are grown-ups and some who are not, meaning functional adults, the inner child adult, and some are instead the adaptive child and or maladaptive child pattern. Those people can make use of a good therapist. So for the individuals of the 5D collective, we are not thrown off course, whether we're surprised in a good or bad way from those mysteries of life and unknowns, unexpecteds, and unwanteds. That's because of your feminine heart body and masculine alliance with a whole self. So you're a whole 3-year-old heart and a whole 1-year-old, okay? So whole self, being yourself. You see, soothe, keep safe, and secure your heart, body, mind as a securely attached, self-empowered, enlightened, mindful, and or spiritual being and person. So for my 5D mystics, is why they don't have drama or saga. They have expansion of consciousness. And the 5D collective, again, of mystics and or inner child adults, we tap into that infinite higher human conscious potential thanks to spiritual and mindful ways of loving and living. The ones of us who have solid roots, we consistently expand, deepen, and further enrich our life and relationships because our self didn't get ruptured. Okay. The ones who have brittle roots, they get to have the opportunity to refocus without losing their sense of self because now they see, soothe, and keep themselves safe and secure. Okay. So earned, secure attachment. And so authenticity is what they keep bringing forth and they continue to try again. And that's when, if they've gotten to their sweet spot, they will build solid roots that will now deepen and enrich, like the ones of us who already began that. So the life events and people that come your way, they allow for 5D person to transform by giving us the capacity to be ourselves authentically in the interaction, to delight in ourselves, in others, and in life. And so you embody more of unconditional love. Mindful and spiritual loving and living allows for a person to embody that universal love and authority. So you carry yourself inside and out with a powerful, directed, realized, receptive, wise, and loving self. You have feminine and masculine, heart, body, mind, harmonious communication. That's called somatics, body, mind. When you look it up, somatic therapists, they talk all about it. So again, restorative embodiment. And that harmonious communication allows you to nurture and grow the resources, activities, relationships, home environment, and world that you wake up to every day, that you've built, and or that you want to bring forth. So you decide, okay, I want to build a home with X, Y, Z, D, E, F, G, for example. Okay, and that's why making decisions also, having conversations with people who are completely different from you, politically, religiously, all of it, and tending to your relationships and communication in work or social engagements, it's always a new adventure and discovery because you're curious, open, accepting, and loving in the present. Thank you, Dr. Daniel Siegel, for these acronyms. So when you have an integrated brain, your default mode network is down-regulated, left and right work together, you're curious, and you're in the presence of someone with no low self-esteem, trauma charges, or any of that. Because you have yourself, those child parts are here. I'm a grown-up, and I know how to self-regulate, okay? And I'm a functional adult. And so you present conversations to people, not reactivity. And if somebody calls you out on being reactive, you'll take a step back, notice it, apologize if you were reactive, and recalibrate and continue your conversation. So we actively don't cancel, block, unfriend people. We don't feel the need, the urge, or any of that when you are whole self, because you see, soothe, secure, again, safe, secure. I'm okay with being me, with integrity. So to be present with an open heart, and being yourself in life, it is actively you owning your sense of self by being self-aware, accountable, and regulating. And therefore, everything that you're desiring to manifest, you get to do. And you embody that lovely humanity and or spirituality of you as the intelligence that is maximizing, again, your feminine masculine. Without a sense of self, you don't commit to anything. You just run away and never get to experience the depths of life or the richness of love because of unfaced fears. With a sense of self, instead, you face the fears of life's mysteries and unknowns, those unexpecteds and unwanteds, without losing yourself. So it's not an option because you actively don't have the blinders. You chose yourself, and you chose to love yourself unconditionally with flaws and integrity. And so spiritual and or mindful living, it means where you feel and are seen, soothed, safe, and secure to be yourself. Tap into your infinite higher human conscious potential experiences through daily mindful mindset and mindset practices as you consistently, again, self-regulate, self-awareness, self-accountability, and bring that functional adult love language to each other. People who don't know what happens with the fear stuff, well, we'll leave that to our next episode. So what I wanted to do is use a couple of quotes and close us out. So again, we're going to have this, and then you're going to see an extended. Eventually, I'm going to release it later on today. You can join. You'll hear some of the repeat of this stuff, okay? So unfaced fear We get possessed by painful emotions and we aren't able to be at home in ourselves. If you look under any of these painful emotions, under shame, anger, depression, you'll find the roots of unfaced fear. Tara Brach, she also shares, the more we avoid our fear by running from it or reacting to it, the stronger and more toxic it becomes. And it's important to understand that fear is nature's protector. It's necessary for survival. We are wired to remember things that go wrong and fixate on things where there might be trouble. So Tara Brach is PhD. She supports people with mindfulness. She's a therapist, and so you can find a lot of her free content online. Also, NICABM is a really great resource for anyone who's interested. But what I'm going to say is, I've noticed people, they quote, they use, they don't know how to use their mind. Okay, so I do. I'm always seeing expansion. My days, I grow up more happy, more blissful, more. It's not pretend, it's embodied. What I've noticed is people that don't take themselves seriously, they just repeat the fear. They think they're not, they are, because they're actively a flat line, by the way. You'll notice how excited somebody is about life by the way that they engage. So here's where we're also going to use our lovely Sadhguru. If no matter what is given to you, you can make something beautiful out of it, that is intelligence. And that's a enlightened soul age group human being, not a special gift. It's called Me and Flow. You can be here too, but if you got a Zen master who tells you about laundry, well, that Zen master actively doesn't do mindful living all the time. It still weighs him down that he has emotions. It's not a contest. It's the capacity for you to welcome the emotions that arise, not shame them, not guilt them, not blame them, not fault them, not say they're not there. You welcome them. That's when you're allowing yourself to come home. All of you human beings who do not break their self-created boundaries will remain trapped in them. Thank you, Sadhguru, again. This is why those of us who are 5D, we again are not impressed by masculines. Masculines without feminine means a human being that doesn't own their sense of self, is how I'm going to close this up. And that's not good or bad. It's your choice to choose you. To choose yourself means I choose to be myself. Then you can get updated with all of that lovely attachment trauma information. Notice if you are a person who needs that. Once you're done, I've seen people say, I don't want to do it. I don't want self-help, personal development. Or it's just crap. It's not crap. You have emotions. And those emotions will come up consistently because unknowns, unexpecteds, and unwanteds are going to be a part of the mysteries of life. I learned from my catechism that all people turn their back on God when some bullshit thing happens. I still see it, and now all I see as a person who is spiritual is that they don't like those of us who are different, and they want to keep using Lucifer as words and names, and at the end of the day, I see that they turned all their back on God, if you will, from what I learned, again, from my catechism, because things are not perfect at all. Doesn't make us inherently good or evil. The whole people, any human being who doesn't know how to notice, we are on a globe. I mean, I know some people are wanting to make it out to be flat, but that's my point. 5D is grounded. So we have a certain amount of years in history, okay? You have emotions and thoughts. If you want to enjoy more of them, you can. That's my point, basically. And some people, they don't have the capacity until they do, which is good therapy. When they're ready, they're going to have fun. A lot of people use their time in different ways. We're going to talk about that. So again, we're not impressed by masculines because they actively don't go and tend to their inner child. That actively kept them safe. Your body and your embodied brain kept you safe. This is the part. So any person who doesn't love life, they can love life, but they will have to choose their self. And then once they're ready to do more self-help stuff or continue that journey, they can. They don't have to, and some they choose not to. But if you are choosing yourself and unconditional love, and you love that 5D collective, so you love the Christ consciousness, it's oneness. It's called integration of the brain. Again, restorative embodiment self. It's you and your inner and outer well-being, and that's why you're not destabilized or taken off when anything gets in. Again, life, it's full of unknowns, and so we'll be back with some more. Have a good one.